Let's try this one more time.
There you
Try
go.
this one more time. Is that a
There.
little better? What happened to your hair?
Missing?
Good for you. You know that's a traditional Mexican thing. They'll shave it in the beginning of the summer.
See?
Yeah,
No wonder white people used to think I'm Mexican.
there you go. Well, it just gets hot. So what's this about my fifth country we've been talking from?
Yeah, this is,
Crazy.
tell us where you are and we'll go from there.
All right. So I am in Guanajuato, Mexico. Was spelled with a G. So Guanajuato. If you ever watch any social media, they misstate it all the time. Guanajuato. So it is an old silver mining town, and this is one of the most interesting places I've been. And we'll get to politics from there. But so I'm staying in this hotel that was built as a castle probably 60 years ago. It needs a little love and TLC, but it's pretty fascinating. I mean, it is enormous, and it's on top of a mountain, like a real castle. So
Nice.
the silver mining town obviously made fortunes back at the end of the 1800s and early 1900s, and built like I was at this theater 2 nights ago. It was built in I think 1875. Still stunning and kept out.
Oh,
But
wow.
the weird, so they have terrible rains here for like 2 months, like a monsoon, and
Hmm.
they went ahead and tunneled through the whole city so you can get away from the rain
Oh,
and drive through it. There's an entire subterranean road system.
that is awesome. Like,
Right. I have never seen anything like it. And I was also thinking maybe because it was a silver mining town, they brought in so much money that they had
mhm.
castle walls, like normal fortress you'd find in Europe. But maybe if they needed to, under attack, could go hide down in the road system. But the road system has buses that go through it with bus stops, everything else. And here's the other one. You know how a trash chute works in an apartment complex?
Uh-huh.
They have that same thing there. The trash trucks pull up to the side, open this big old deal, and it comes out and fills up into the trash truck.
That
I
is
mean,
fascinating.
shockingly practical. Shockingly practical. Yeah. So I really like this place. As of right now, it's number two on my list.
Who's still sitting in number one for retirement home?
Number one is Buenos Aires, Argentina. That is a polite version of Paris in South
Mm.
America. It's
That's a,
it's nice.
that's a
It's nice.
mean thing to say about Paris.
Right. Well, I wouldn't. My thing in Paris, I like it. And one of the tunnels here that goes about 150 feet underneath the city
Mhm.
smells like Paris, and that's what I think of every time I'm under there. And it's not a compliment.
Oh yeah, I know that smell all too well.
So yeah, hey, I've got a funny story for you. So, small town Oklahoma school board, people are trying to get through the Senate there. So the governor approves them or appoints them, and then they have to go through a Senate hearing.
Mhm.
And so this guy Van de Hyde, I think is the name, goes in for his Senate approval hearing, and throughout the night, the crazy super right wingers sent out a series of emails about him and his family. And this is for a guy to be on school board, state school board, and called it literally Mikhail Gorbachev because he's such a lefty left. This guy is a right wing businessman.
Mhm.
And these are the crazy nut job ones here that I fight with all the time. Got one more senator in, so they are going to be more of a problem than before. I mean, they're not big enough to matter. Do you
Mhm.
hear the race car in the background? Yeah,
Someone is racing in the middle of the night. That happens
of
in all
course they are.
cities.
Right. So yeah, so that's kind of in the place of politics. This
Mhm.
fight between the super right and the regular right is seem to be heating up quite a bit. So, and I would say nationally as well, they seem to be having some stuff. How does our stuff look over there?
To be very honest with you, it's mostly confusing because think about
Mm,
some of the topics we talk about. I usually tell you to give some background or we add some
right,
background into it to
right,
basically set it up where people from
right.
other places would understand. Like for them,
Right.
it seems fascinating that it's so disorganized, but also mean spirited for some reason.
Right. For no apparent reason.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Right.
And and at times people just make fun of me and they're like, "Are you sure that's still called the Bible Belt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but we're not sure which version of the Bible they're reading."
And and I think that's something to be said. And if you look at European religious wars,
Hmm.
this isn't new.
Yeah.
And so you agree all of a sudden that you as Christians are going to fight the Mohammedans. And then if you're able to expel them, then you have to look and go, yeah, but I don't like your Christianity. We're doing all the same thing that the Muslims are doing over in the Middle East.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, it just nobody's taking up arms yet. So let me talk about this weird deal. So James Comey, the former head of the FBI, did a
Hmm.
Twitter picture and it said 8647. So 86 in the restaurant business means we are out of it.
Hmm.
But conspiracy theorists think he's having a call to violence and all this other stuff. And you go, or he's just saying we need to out, like mean get rid of 47.
Hmm.
That's going to be the thing you're going to be hearing over the next couple of weeks. That supposedly, and you know they're just spinning shit. I mean, I can't tell whether something's AI or not at this point.
Yeah, some of them are getting so good, Sean. Like,
Right.
still, there was an account I was following,
Mm.
and it took me a couple of days to realize that that is not even a human being.
Right. And you're in that business.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell the difference because it just sounded like a normal
Right.
person talking about different new platforms in AI and technology. And I was like, oh, this is
Right.
a really cool account.
Yeah.
Everything looks legit, Sean.
Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, it's pretty. That is pretty worrying because people are taking that as real, and
Mhm.
then it's spinning out. With you, the good thing about the internet is there's lots of stuff available. The bad
Mhm.
thing is there's no proctor or teacher or overseer.
Yeah.
so so I saw one that was appeared to be from a Saudi prince. That was
Mhm.
the best that was the best AI I've ever seen. Like I
Um,
could not tell, except it had the notice on the bottom.
mm. Yeah.
I mean, crazy stuff. So I've been in Mexico for about a week, so I honestly haven't talked that much politics with anybody. Nobody here has talked to me about Donald Trump, and I speak Spanish. No one.
Oh,
But
I did see the
this is a
video on food.
yeah bad
Hmm.
dude. So let me get to that in a second. They have a General Motors factory here that produces Chevy trucks, the big old trucks,
Okay.
and they're running at 50% capacity because now they have this huge tariff. But it's owned by an American company, and the
Hmm.
tariff still has to be paid. So they've just dropped off production, and that down here is a really good job.
Hmm.
Kind
Yeah.
of a bummer. But the city, you would never guess anything has happened. I mean, everybody's just rolling along like usual. I mean, this is a bustling 1 million person city. Like it feels like a gigantic city. So,
Yeah.
all right, what was the thing we were just going to cover in the night? I said, let me say this first.
Food.
Oh, so here's the thing. So, I'm 62 now. So I eat a lot of street food, and the
Mm.
risk with street food is you want to get it early in the morning, so it hasn't sat out in the sun very long, and you want it to be fried. And
Mhm.
generally, you're okay. And if you're eating fruit, you want to be able to peel it,
Yeah.
like because herbicides, pesticides, anything's usually on the outside. So I'm really pretty good at it. And then I only drink bottled water if I don't care what country I'm in. It's
Hmm.
my our stomach is used to specific bugs. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Your stomach's used to different bugs. And so in India, I would be drinking a gallon of bottled water, which is expensive. But everything here is about a third of what I was paying, even in Croatia, which was pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
So it's so 40 years ago when I came to Mexico, it was 20 pesos to the dollar. It's
Mhm.
still 20 pesos to the dollar, but the prices don't seem to have gone up much.
Oh, that's actually nice. Same.
Right. Yeah. And so you can be real generous and you can overtip and stuff like that. And it's still, I mean, this place is nice. And today we're going to the richest part of it. So I like city living. You like city living, but a
Mm.
lot of Americans have moved to a place called San Miguel Allende, which just means Saint Michael, whatever the Allende.
Mhm.
I don't know what that means. Um, and it's a place where they a whole bunch of expats have gone, but there are homes that are $4 and $6 million there,
So
which
they basically created like a Floridaville there.
Right, right. And what I would say is that's all well and fine. But so on social media, people are like, oh, you've got to go there. And you go, I think that's exactly what I was trying to not see.
Mhm.
But my
Let's travel
travel
to another
partner,
country and see the same people that I'll try to leave behind in my country. What sort of
well,
logic of traveling is that?
I think it's a comfort level.
Hmm.
And you speak multiple languages and I speak multiple languages, which makes us weird in America,
Yeah.
but normal everywhere else. Because if you want to do business, you gotta be able to talk to people.
Hmm.
So so I don't have an interest in living in a place like that, no matter how nice it is, because I already know that.
Yeah.
I'm in for the show. I am in for the whole show. So the when we were in they're called cafeterias here, and so they're stalls with, and it's usually women, and their kids will be there, and grandma will be there, and everybody else, and but they're commercial stalls, like they've got sinks, and they've got fryers, and they've got stoves and everything, and you just go up like a sit down counter at what's your crappy favorite restaurant that you like? Shit, it's roadside American restaurant that everything's fried and stacked and shit on your hash
John,
browns
you're
and all that
describing
stuff.
my entire diet in America, so I don't know which
What
restaurant.
Waffle House? Isn't
Waffle
that the
House.
place you eat at? Waffle House. Yeah. So they're all like a Waffle House, and they'll give you a menu, and this is all authentic. They're all family recipes, but the food is superb.
Hmm.
And like probably yesterday morning's the most spent. It was maybe $15 for two people, and
Yeah.
it was delicious. And then the like street tacos are different here, and they put them on like a gyro pit.
Hmm.
It's
Oh
just
yeah.
fresh meat on a gyro pit. Yeah, I mean it's the exact same thing. Okay, so a taco was originally shawarma. I don't know if you know that or not.
No,
So that's where
the
for
video
people
that
who
you
don't
showed
know,
me, it basically just looked like the shawarma stalls I see here.
right, right, with a thinner corn rather than the version of flatbread that you would get.
Hmm.
And so best tacos I've ever eaten in my entire life, and they were probably a dollar and a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, so what you don't see very much is vegetables, and I'm not sure why,
Hmm.
but you don't see it much.
I
Yeah.
wonder whether it has. Okay, so even in like traditional Indian restaurants, you see a
Hmm.
very little bit of vegetable that is
Right.
not fried, sauteed, or done something with it, like
Right.
regular salads,
Right. No,
steams.
no salads here at all. Because,
Hmm.
well, so for one, outsiders can't eat them because
Yeah,
it's been used with river water and everything else. Same contamination
there is
problem.
still
We,
Sean, there is still 2 cases of water from when Christine was here.
okay, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Well, these are things that are just normal with traveling, and people get nervous doing it. And you just go, very easy precautions. Go on AI and do a chat GBT of what you should eat.
Hmm.
It'll literally give you descriptions or whatever, deep seek, whatever you want to use. But I'm glad to be out of the American politics thing for about it. It's been a nice break. I won't lie. It's
Yeah.
been a nice break. I'm tired of it. And it's probably not that much different here. I mean, so I'm out 2 nights ago, and there was a parade that went through this little area, and it was an LGBTQ parade, which I was kind of surprised. Very Catholic city.
Yeah.
I don't know if very, and and nobody really clapped or anything, but nobody booed or anything.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
it just
them
kind of
doing their
went
thing.
through and it was over. So different place, different problems.
Yeah.
They're probably at the beginning of trying to get some things to go their ways here, and we're used to kind of big, huge. I don't know people even in Oklahoma City, it's 100,000 people show up for that parade. It's pretty fun. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
good job. So
Sean, but I think the parade in Oklahoma, most of the people from the LGBTQ community come there just to spite the other idiots for booing. Because there are a lot of those nutbags there.
oh yeah, 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 and it's not just the House of Representatives or the Senate, but it's
Mhm.
pretty cool. I mean, this has been pretty nice, and I I need to do a sitcom out of this hotel. It is gorgeous, but awful all at the same time. So, but
Mhm.
I think this could be a really cheap movie set, and really good stories to go with it. So do you know what a quinceañera is?
Yeah. The
Okay,
coming of
so
age
for
party
people who
for
don't know,
Mhm.
when girls turn 15, they have this coming out party that's like a wedding with no groom.
Mhm.
And this medieval looking castle is a lot of them come to do photos. So like somebody's here every day in some gorgeous gown doing photos. And that's been the highlight. Honestly, and I know that sounds stupid, but as a guy that raised three daughters, it's pretty neat to see. And it's pretty fun to be part of that deal, I think.
This is
Yeah.
like you ending up in prom photo, Sean, but in a different country for their thing.
So one time, and they have a whole lighting crew and everything like you and I would have on a commercial shoot.
Oh, wow.
So they're doing it. And it's just a phenomenal setup. So I take a couple of pictures and I go down and see the parents and I go, here, you want to send these to yourself so people can see how big of a deal it was.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is their pros. I don't know how much they have to pay these folks, but it is there are staffers, there are producers, lighting. Yeah.
Sean, that
For
could
being
be a
50.
side business in the future.
That's what I was thinking. I think we could do. Holy crud.
Have a deal with the hotel telling them that I'll be your
I know.
guy. Just
Well, so when you're, I don't know how it works in India, but I assume the same way. When you're on the border, you can find people who speak multiple languages. But the further you get into the country, there aren't that many people here that speak English.
okay.
And or they went to America to
Mm.
make some more money. And so you're left with, like, I speak Spanish all the time. But if you don't, it's not troublesome, but it's just difficult. And anymore, there's so many translate apps. And I bought my travel person one of the ear deals that,
Mhm.
if you speak into it, it translates. They shouldn't figure out how to use it yet, but we're getting.
I love that you've decided to use this translating headphone on this trip.
Right. Why not? Yeah. Well, I didn't use it. Yeah. It's for her. I
Okay.
really enjoy it because this is the dialect I speak.
Oh, okay.
Like how you do herdo and yeah, this is my actual dialect. So
Ah, so
I'm
you're a
I'm pretty
two.
good here. Yeah. Crazy. So it's all good. We got partiers coming in right now. People here fill out the streets at about 10 p.m. It's real hot in the afternoon, so you kind of go home, get out of the sun, and then everybody goes back out until 2 a.m. every night down by the city center.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice city.
And and there's a whole bunch of stuff there. But this has been good. Anyway, like I said, number 2 on this one. How much time do we have left?
Oh, 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that I want to say before we go is, everybody gave us this deal and said that you're going to have trouble getting in and these fake lines and fake problems, like the Mexican government didn't want you here or anything. So we go into their website, we fill out all the stuff, get our visas, which I've never had to do in my entire life. Guess what? None of that mattered. We got here in the airport and they just scooted everybody through like normal and polite as heck and fun. And it was really shitty that people are publicizing it that way. I mean, that part really bothers me, but
See, but I think it's
it's
also like
unnecessary.
that. It's that those stupid videos that get blown out of proportion on
Mhm.
social media.
Right.
It just happened once, maybe, and
Right.
that becomes the entire story.
Right. And it's usually a Karen or Karen's husband
Mhm.
that have started some shit. And, other countries don't have to take shit off of you.
Yeah.
That is not their job. Have some manners, be polite. The party folks over on the other side. I'm literally out at the pool. And a bunch of folks just came in. All right. Let's check out of here. So once again, Guanajuato, Mexico is where I am right now. And I'll be back in the US. I think I'm back on Monday. So next week will be a little tricky. All right. We'll see you.
See you.
Take care.